FBR4 videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are doing conference previews in college basketball right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Right now, we're going to take a look at the Big 12. Joe, thanks for being back with us.
Thank you, Peter.
All right, how have things gone in college basketball for you this year? Pretty good?
No, it's been a fantastic year. Certainly among our better regular seasons. I've been called Mr. March since the early 1990s, and we're going to have a fantastic March. Our $1 Million March continues at OffshoreInsiders.com, where my picks are, and a lot of you have been getting my picks since the score phone days of the 1980s.
All right, Mr. March. La-di-da there, Joe Duffy. All right. Big 12 Conference. Kansas, of course, is the favorite. They are the favorite. They are plus 220 right now at 5 dimes. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think that Kansas overvalued here. Of course, Joel Embiid, their star center, is out of the Big 12 tournament. They're also 2-4 against the spread over their last 6, and they've lost repeatedly to various Big 12 teams on the road during the regular season. So Kansas at plus 220 as the favorite. Throw them out, in my opinion. Then 5 dimes has Oklahoma State, curiously, at plus 400. Iowa State, I think they've been a little bit overvalued. I made a video of them earlier in the year saying that, and that has been the case. They're just 3-6 against the spread over their last 9. They're plus 450. Then Baylor, they were kind of overvalued earlier in the year, but they've covered 6 out of their last 8 games with 1 push. They're coming on strong, and they are plus 600 at 5 dimes. Then the number 2 seed, Oklahoma, in my opinion, a little bit inexplicably at a plus 800. Then you have Texas, West Virginia, plus 1,200. Do you agree with me that Kansas is the throwout here as the favorite?
Yeah, with Embiid, that's really tough. I mean, he's a dominant player, but keep in mind that Kansas has a lot of depth, and they now have something they can rally around. You know, we do see teams rally around adversity short term, and, there's no lack of talent there. Here's a chance for Wiggins to really make his statement that he's going to be the top pick in the NBA draft. I do agree that that is a huge injury to overcome. So to make them the favorites, even without one of their 2 best players, is extremely difficult. So I don't know if I would make them the favorites, but I wouldn't completely discount them either because the cupboard is not exactly bare as far as Kansas is concerned.
Yeah, they're kind of a head case team. They rely a little bit too much on Wiggins' athleticism. I don't like betting on them at all without Embiid. I'm thinking that Oklahoma at plus 800, the number 2 seed, they've covered their last 6 games in a row. I'm liking Oklahoma at these lines. What do you think?
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to have to disagree with something you said. If I had to single out a dark horse, I'm actually going to go with Iowa State because Iowa State has lost just 1 game on on another team's. I'm sorry, they've lost just 1 road or home or neutral game, I should say, is what I'm trying to say. That most of their losses were on the road. So again, the road is defined by playing on another team's home court. It gets back to our golden rule. A neutral game is not a road game, and the fact that Iowa State in home and neutral games was so good makes them dangerous here. In fact, they were 4-0 on neutral courts in addition to their great home record. So again, we discussed it in some of our other conference previews. A neutral game is not a road game. That's one of the biggest mistakes that squares make. So Iowa State's actually my dark horse. But yeah, Oklahoma, this is another one of those that's wide open, especially with the Embiid injury. But yeah, Oklahoma would be a pretty good bet, but we're going to be completely disagreeing. Iowa State's really my dark horse.
All right, I don't like Iowa State, though. They got a great point guard, but they're a little undersized. They have a lot of holes in their game. All right, you're going with Iowa State at plus 450. I'm going with Oklahoma at plus 800, but we both agree that Kansas State is overvalued at plus 220, correct?
Yeah, Kansas is overvalued. I also think that Oklahoma State could be a bit undervalued. Remember, they had the Marcus Smart suspension. Yeah. They slumped there, but they've kind of righted their ship with Smart back. They would be a nice dark horse team as well.
No, I disagree with that. Again, Oklahoma State head case team. Don't like betting on head case teams. But let's get into some individual games. I have a few that I've circled here. I think that if Kansas plays Kansas State in the semifinals, you definitely take Kansas State as a dog for sure. Hopefully they'll be getting a lot of points. Maybe not. But if they're getting a decent amount of points, I take Kansas State, right?
Well, again, we're going to have to see how Kansas does look without Embiid. I really think that's to be determined. It's going to be the eye test. We're going to see how Kansas is playing, without him. Again, Kansas does have some depth behind him. So really, I'm going to have to kind of beg off of that one and say to be determined.
Okay, and then if it winds up being Kansas against Oklahoma in the finals, Oklahoma will be an underdog there. Definitely take Oklahoma against the spread, right?
Maybe, but again, if that happens, we know that Kansas has played well without despite the injury, and that they're red hot. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Kansas is certainly capable of winning this tournament.
All right. Great insights. Joe Duffy, thanks so much.